those videos that we send for to YouTube for purposes, it's very important that you share it with other people on a regular basis. It's also very, very important that you practice them maybe more than once. It really brings out old stuff. It's very, very useful to release junk that is lying inside, and actually helps a lot more in healing than it would have otherwise. So if you want to get healed faster of older issues, I would highly, highly recommend that you do multiple times a practice of forgiveness. If, for example, one particular topic that you really, really liked, do more of that. It really, 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 really helps you bring out all the emotions and clean from inside. It's amazing a technique. All right, let's start for today. Mute everybody. Yes, let's start. Invocation to the Supreme God, to the Great Divine Father and the Great Divine Mother. Thank you for your priceless blessings, for your divine light, divine love, divine power, divine healing, guidance, mercy, help, and protection. Thank you. To our great spiritual teacher, to all the great spiritual teachers, to all the great gods and goddesses, to all the great, great ones, we very, very humbly thank you for your great blessings. We thank you so much. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you. Thank you so much. Be aware of the heart chakra, be aware of the crown chakra. Let's verbalize clearly. Let us say, Lord God, thank you for filling my heart chakra with substance of love. Again, say, Lord God, thank you for filling my heart chakra with substance of love. Say, Lord God, thank you for filling my crown chakra with substance of love. Again, say, Lord God, thank you for filling my crown chakra with substance of love. All right. Raise your hands in the blessing position. Sorry, before that, don't raise once raise. Today we will do forgiveness for spouse. Most people who are attending these sessions actually have a spouse. If you don't have a spouse, you can pick up your ex if there is an ex in your life, or you can pick up, maybe your girlfriend, boyfriend, or just do generally. If you don't have anybody, you're too young, just do generally, okay? Um, so if you're, spouse that you have, I'd like you to visualize, at least mentally see some of the mistakes that your spouse have done, which have really hurt you. Many of those mistakes are probably unavoidable with proper communication. Many of those mistakes you might realize did not require you to emotionally react at all. In many of those mistakes where you shouted, where you expressed deep anger, None of that was needed. A calm, loving heart was all that was needed. Sometimes we knew that we were doing wrong, we still kept on doing it. Sometimes we knew that what we were talking about was not true, it was purely egoistic, but who cares? Winning becomes more important than validation of what we're saying. Sometimes we take our spouse practically for granted till the time something happens. Same thing from the other side. Sometimes your spouse takes you for granted, and your expectations on the fact that your spouse will change, they meet a dead end. The spouse does not change, you feel betrayed, you feel dishonored, and then deep anger comes out. Sometimes your spouse belittles you, makes you feel small about yourself. Sometimes you do the exact same thing also. You say some things that your spouse feels small. Your spouse feels very little. It hurts their self-esteem. And that small thing, that careless remark that was spoken becomes into a big fight. One definitely must be careful of what one says. Sometimes, all said and done, we don't really express verbally our love to our spouse. Or maybe the society hasn't taught us to verbally express love again and again. Society doesn't teach us exactly this. We express our love in form of doing our duties. Yeah, that's good. That's very good. Sometimes we allow the romance in with our spouse we allow it to die. We don't make efforts to reignite it as much, or rather, we don't want to put efforts in that direction. Somehow it feels too draining, and the effort that you've put in the previous time is not appreciated, and that makes you feel disrespected. So you stop putting efforts. Sometimes, in some cases, one spouse loses respect for the other spouse. Then the relationship becomes relatively duty based and superficial because there is no respect. This is also important to know. Raise your hand in the blessing position. Be aware of the heart chakra, be aware of the crown chakra, and verbalize, say, may my spouse, or in some cases, my ex-spouse, from the heart of God, may my spouse be blessed with deep love and kindness. From the heart of God, may my spouse be blessed with great joy and happiness, divine peace. From the heart of God, may my spouse be blessed with understanding, harmony, goodwill, and the will to do good. And tell your spouse that I forgive you for all the mistakes that you have made in our relationship. I forgive you completely for all the lack of responsibility that you have shown. I forgive you for all the anger, all the criticism that has come to me from you. I forgive you for it. I forgive you for all the little things that you've done which have bothered me for such a long time. So I completely forgive you for your simple lack of interest in participating in my life. I completely forgive you. I completely forgive you for your lack of interest. I also forgive you for not making efforts to improve the quality of our relationship, even though I make it. Say, I completely forgive you for all the hurtful words you have said that are still haunting me. I forgive you for all the actions, for all the hurtful actions that you directed towards me or my family. I also forgive you for any of the morally or unethical actions, disgraceful actions that you have done by being involved with somebody else. I forgive you for that. Then say, I love you. As hard as it is for me to say, I love you. I love you. I love you so much. I love you so much. Now, tell your spouse that please forgive me in case I have said very mean things to injure you, to hurt you. Please, please forgive me in case I have done things to bring shame to you, to arouse disrespect. Please forgive me. I genuinely seek forgiveness. Please forgive me. for all the for some of the most major things that I would have done, or some of the most major events that have started through me that brought disharmony in our life. Please forgive me for my lack of understanding. Especially, please forgive me for my lack of understanding of your point of view. Please forgive me if I'm too interfering in your life. Please forgive me if, because of me, you have had emotional toll in your life. Please forgive me for my anger. Please forgive me for my criticism. Please forgive me for my lack of efforts to revive the romance in the relationship. Please forgive me for my tendency to criticize. I will work on all of these aspects diligently. I will work on myself diligently. Thank you for your forgiveness. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now do forgiveness with yourself and say, I forgive you, or I forgive myself for all the mistakes that I have made in the relationship with my spouse. I forgive myself for holding anger too long. I forgive myself for being overcritical for small mistakes. I forgive myself for starting fights. I forgive myself for lack of understanding of the point of view of my partner, of my spouse. I forgive myself that my ego was much bigger, but there was no need to show an ego. I will learn from all these lessons and I will forgive myself. So wait, so wait, so wait. Keep your hands down on your lap. Visualize your partner in front of you, deeply in love, both of you. In case if you're not an ex, both of you are dancing in a nice body contact dance, looking into each other's eyes and saying thank you so much to each other. There is love, there is trust, there is kindness, there is a willingness to understand, willingness to transform oneself for the sake of the other. There is beauty in your relationship. and just say I love you. If you're still married, and if you're not talking about an ex, you can always say I love you so much, and I will try to make things better. I will try to verbalize more love. I will try to verbalize more compassion and romance instead of anger or criticism. Look at your partner and say, I take responsibility and I will do my best. I take responsibility of my words, of my actions properly. And I'm hoping you will take responsibility for your words and your actions also. Now, we will do purification specifically for one or two particular things. Be aware of the heart, be aware of the crown. Imagine a big, big sun a few meters away from you. Whatever goes inside the sun gets completely burnt and disintegrated. Verbalize, say, to the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, thank you for completely extracting out all the entities and emotions of anger, criticism, and irritation from my entire system, from all my chakras, from all my webs, from my conscious and subconscious mind. Please sacrifice it to the great Sun God. Thank you. Again, to the Supreme God, verbalize. Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, thank you for completely extracting out all the energy of anger, irritation, and criticism from all my chakras, from all my webs, from my conscious and subconscious mind. Please sacrifice it to the great Sun God. Thank you. To the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, thank you for completely extracting out all the entities and emotions of anger, irritation, and criticism from all my chakras, from all my webs, from my conscious and subconscious mind. Please sacrifice it to the great Sun God. Thank you. Let's invoke for blessings. We say, Lord God, thank you for blessing me with loving kindness and non-injury. Verbalize everything in my thoughts, feelings, words, and actions. Please bless me with patience, understanding, tolerance, mercy, compassion, and inner forgiveness. Thank you. Say, Lord God, thank you for blessing me with loving kindness and non-injury in my thoughts, feelings, words, and actions. Please bless me with patience, understanding, tolerance, mercy, compassion, and inner forgiveness. Thank you. Say, Lord God, thank you for blessing me with loving kindness and non-injury in my thoughts, feelings, words, and actions. Please bless me with patience, understanding, tolerance, mercy, compassion, and inner forgiveness. Thank you. Now be aware of brilliant star on top of your crown, top of the head, and be very, very still when you look at it. Very, very still. What's your closing prayer? To the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, thank you, thank you, thank you for your great blessings. Thank you so much to our great spiritual teacher, to all the great spiritual teachers, to all the great gods and goddesses, to all the great, great ones. We very, very humbly thank you for your great blessings. Thank you so much. Thank you. Take care. God bless all of you, and see you on Sunday morning. Yeah. Bye bye. Go express love to your spouse. Bye. Take care.